future of Halo starts with Campaign Evolved. 343, or now Halo Studios, is going at it again with releasing Combat Evolved for the 4th time. They have their staff stretched between doing Halo CE, Halo 2, and Halo 3 remakes for all systems, including PlayStation, and Halo 7 will provide the multiplayer. I actually really like this idea, and I think it can work only if they do it right and fully embrace it. Halo needs to reboot itself, but not like how 343 did in the past, where they changed the art and themes and gameplay to mimic more modern shooters like Call of Duty by adding aim down sights, sprint, and QuickTime events to attract the wider audience and alienating the current Halo audience. And then they did a soft reboot. They did a return to classic form with Halo Infinite, bringing back classic art and bringing Halo back to an actual Halo ring. This time the game really needs to start from scratch and do away with everything that 343 did. Scrap the Reclaimer saga, so 4, 5, and Infinite. Basically leave the story unchanged, aka everything Bungie made story-wise. I personally think they should hold off for making a sequel story-wise to the events of Halo 3 until they bring in some competent writers. But this also means that Halo 4 would probably be remade, except it would be nothing like the original, at least in theory. Story-wise, it might not be too different considering the Human Covenant war is over and Master Chief is no longer needed. It would probably be best for them to just make spin-off games like Reach and ODST just like Bungie did when their time was up. Another option is to bring Jerome or a similar Spartan to be the main character of the franchise since Chief is getting old and Cortana is gone now. I know he has the weapon, but still. The best hope is to take advantage of this OG trilogy remake that Halo Studios is doing and just make them solid remakes that everyone can enjoy for new and old players alike. Solid campaigns, no glitches, just solid launches, beautiful graphics while still retaining that classic Halo art style, reminiscent of adult sci-fi of the late 80s that inspired Halo, like Aliens. Keep themes of colonialism, imperialism, religious extremism, and the biblical undertones. Not fuck with the plot at all for these remakes. Basically, Halo 7 is supposed to provide the multiplayer for this new Halo franchise. I don't know if that means no story mode from Halo 7, but regardless, the multiplayer is most likely going to be free to play, my guess. So not only do we have an opportunity to have a coherent story again that makes sense, but we also have a chance for coherent gameplay mechanics, which means good gameplay. Call of Duty is so successful because it doesn't change, and right now we need the next few Halo games to not change, i.e. have a consistent gameplay system that is built and tuned properly based on player feedback and developer input over a long period of time, over like 2 to 3 plus games. The original trilogy did this. Sure, it did evolve over the 3 games, but it was slight and not insane like the last 4 games where each game is completely different. The first 3 games all have a much more similar vibe and feel in their gameplay. Grenades, shooting, and melee. Halo 3 had equipment, but it's not too much of a big change. Halo 2 introduced dual wielding, and 3 kept it. But it didn't affect the multiplayer too much because the sandbox was relatively unchanged in terms of the meta. The battle rifle / precision weapon was still at the top and the power weapons were still where they needed to be, so dual wielding was just a fun addition to the single player experience. Then Reach and 4 got rid of equal starts and 5 strayed too far away from the core mechanics. Halo needs to regain its identity once more in the modern era as not only a sci-fi shooter, but a distinguished sci-fi shooter made for adults with an M rating on the cover. Remind people of not only the horrors of warfare and religiously backed genocide, but also of the fact that there are things in this world that we cannot fight alone. Sometimes we need to set our differences aside in order for us just to survive. The next generations need to be reminded so that we do not repeat the atrocities committed by our past.